días, buenas tardes, or buenas noches, whatever time it is that you're watching. It's your boy Tony El Tigre once again with Into the Jungle podcast. Today I have a very special guest that I consider a great friend of mine. If not, I consider him my brother. He's not just only my barber, but he is also a trainer and he's also a competitor in bodybuilding. So this guy has a pretty tight schedule and he makes all of this happen. But besides that, he's just a great individual overall. I'd like to introduce to you Deni, my barber.
What's going on, my guy?
Thanks for having me. I appreciate you, bro. My first guest here for episode 1. Please, brother, go ahead and tell us a bit about yourself, please.
So like Tony said, great intro, by the way. I appreciate you.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you.
This is really like one of my favorite people to cut up in the chair. We always have great conversations. It's always just energy that we reciprocate off each other. So it's a pleasure to be here. A pleasure to have another conversation with you. We're just recording this right now, but we do this every time he comes down. This is normal to us. That we don't do nothing. Right. We don't. Everything we're gonna say here, we say it in the chair. You know. So It's a pleasure to be here. But a little bit about myself. Like he said, I'm a father. I have 2 kids. I'm a barber first, bodybuilder second. It's just both passions that I have that I share time with, you know. I do have a crazy tight schedule, but it's an honor for me to make time for me to go ahead and do this podcast with Tony. And let's get into it. We're gonna have a great time.
Let's get into it, brother. I appreciate you. Thank you very much. Sir. Once again, I have a couple questions for you here, brother. That you know, this is somebody that's very disciplined. He's a hard worker, you know. So I admire you, brother. The way your hard work ethic, you're able to fit in the gym, no matter the time of the day it is. And this guy's a man of great discipline. He's very consistent, and he makes shit happen. No matter if he gets 2 hours of sleep, 3 hours of sleep, he makes shit happen. So the first question I have for you, brother.
Yes, sir.
You know, you're a barber, brother, and I want to ask you, what got you into becoming a barber? You know?
Yeah, that's a crazy story. It's a good story. So I started cutting hair when I was 16. Okay. When I was 16, I started cutting hair. I started cutting hair only because I didn't have any money to get my hair cut. Okay. I come from very humble beginnings, just like most people, right? Didn't have any money to get my hair cut. I was going to a school where it was more middle class, upper class. Okay. I had transferred out of the other school that I was at, and everybody had a haircut. Everybody looked nice and clean. Everybody had new clothes. They had different outfits for every day of the week, and I just didn't fit in with the crowd, you know. And the least that I could do, I couldn't control anything else. But what I could control was whether my haircut whether I had a haircut or not, right? Even though I didn't have the skills to get my hair perfectly, I had the skills to try. So that's what really started it all. At 16, I picked up my first pair of clippers, started cutting myself up.
Dope, okay. Real quick,
go for it.
Were you like one of those guys that on Instagram that had the three mirror type of thing? Oh, no?
That takes me back, bro. Yeah, that didn't exist.
Okay.
So I don't know if you've ever had a closet that has mirror doors.
Yes.
Okay. So
I know. I'm familiar.
Keep that in mind, right?
Okay.
So, I had a bathroom that had a medicine cabinet and I had a mirror there, right?
Okay. Yeah, I know exactly.
So I would take off the closet door, bro. I would take it into the bathroom, lean it against the wall, and I basically was cutting my hair, looking at that mirror, looking at the back of my head through that mirror off the reflection of the medicine cabinet mirror.
Wow.
First time I cut my hair, it took me like 3 hours, bro.
Wow.
3 hours and it still came out.
Let me ask you this. So what was it? Was it a taper, fade? What was this?
I don't even remember, bro. I'm sure I tried to give myself a taper.
Okay.
I'm sure I tried to give myself a taper because that's what I transitioned to over time. I just stuck to tapers because that was the easiest thing for me to do. I don't know if I ever gave myself a fade, to be honest, but I know I gave myself a taper the first time. I'm sure it was a horrible fade, but you know, we got started, bro. We got started
somewhere, brother.
And I took that throughout high school with me, just cutting my own hair. Eventually, I cut up a couple friends here and there, you know. Okay. I did it for about 1.5 years, maybe 2 years, consistently just for myself. But anybody else who wanted to get a haircut, I would give them a haircut.
Let me ask you this. Would you do it for free or would you charge like a very cheap?
I was doing it for free. I was doing it for free. I remember there was one person, a friend of mine and also a coworker that I went to his house to go cut his hair. Okay. And at that point, I was thinking about taking it serious and thinking about like making some income off of it. But I think ultimately I might have charged him like $15 or something.
Okay.
$15 that I didn't even want to take because when I finished the haircut, it had taken me 2 hours to do his haircut.
Oh, wow.
He had
you said
$15. Yeah, yeah. It was a very difficult. He had very difficult hair, and I just didn't like how the haircut came out. So, but he insisted on giving me the money. So but majority of it was free.
Okay.
Majority of it was free. So fast forward a couple years later, I had stopped cutting hair. Because at the time, I didn't see it as a profession. I didn't see it as something that my parents could look at and be like, oh yeah, my son's a barber, you know? It didn't ring for me. It didn't sound like, oh, he's a professional. He's like, un licenciado, you know? Like, it didn't sound like something like my parents could be proud of. So I'm like, this isn't my route. This isn't my route. But fast forward a couple years later, when I was 25, I worked a couple different retail jobs. Majority of my retail career was all management. So I built up skills, I built up characteristics that made me a good person to just conversate with in general, right? But I didn't know that I was gonna use that in the future.
Right.
When I turned 25, I totaled my car. When I totaled my car, I had issues with insurance, and basically they weren't gonna pay off the car. I needed extra income, or just income in general, for me to be able to pay off that car, because I didn't want to have a car that I wasn't using that I had to pay for every month, right? So I kept thinking, and one time I'm in the car with my friend, and he tells me, he's like, you know what, one of my friends, he's a personal trainer, and he taught himself how to cut hair. And I'm like, you know what? When I was 16, I used to cut hair. Why can't I do that, you know? And I told him, I'm like, you know what, bro, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna cut hair. I need some extra cash right now. I think I could do that. So I go through that idea. I'm pretty sure the next week, I went out, I bought the materials that I needed for me to get started, and I didn't know what I was doing, bro. I didn't have anybody to practice on, but I knew this is what I was gonna do to make it happen, right? For me to get extra income for me to pay off the car. Fast forward, I print out some business cards. I print out about 200 business cards. I go on a 4-hour walk, pass out all the business cards, bro, throughout everybody in that neighborhood. And that's how I started. That's basically how I started. Started cutting up people for free, maybe $20 that I was charging, $30 that I was charging for a haircut. Doing house calls, you know, just for the strength that I wanted to get those reps and I wanted to get the practice in. I knew that I didn't know what direction I was going in, but I knew that if I was taking a step forward, that I was going to get to where I needed to get to eventually.
And at this point, your cuts are decent, right? For you to be charging 20, 30 bucks? Or how would you say?
I had already gotten practice in at this point. However, they weren't like, I don't think that I was messing people up at this point yet. But they weren't up to par to what I think they should have been. Obviously, we're always going to be our worst critics, right? But I was still getting people calling me back, asking me to cut their hair, so they couldn't have been that bad, right?
Hey, right? You're doing something good, right?
Yeah. So that takes part, brother, and I basically decide that this is what I want to do, that this is actually something that makes sense for me because I love it. It's challenging for me. It was a new adventure, so it was exciting to me. And I started doing math, bro, and I started listening to individuals that have made it far in the barber industry, and it just made sense to me. I knew that it was a market that I can grow in. I knew that it was a market that I can thrive in because I work as hard as I can. And
that's for sure.
It doesn't have to be barbering. It could be anything else, right? But if you're getting paid commission, if you're getting paid off of your own work ethic, and if you're a hard worker, it makes it viable for you to make a lot of money, right? Or at least to make a decent living. So when I figured that out, that's when I decided to do it, to do it full time, and take the initiative to, I guess, shift my life to make sure that I was able to do it full time. And yeah, brother, that's how I started, basically. That's how I started.
That's beautiful, man. Unfortunately, I don't have a cut at the moment, nor does my brother here. But you know, we're busy men.
Yes, sir.
You know, so unfortunately, we weren't able to. I every time I go, I show off, hey man, go to Deni, get crisp, or Deni moves weight. What is it?
Yes, sir. Deni moves weight.
His Instagram is Deni moves weight.
Yes,
no
sir.
Dots, no underscores, nothing.
That's it. That's gonna be the personal Instagram. And then the barber Instagram is going to be Duffel Bag Deni.
Duffel Bag Deni. You guys heard it here. Duffel Bag Deni is his barbering account, and his personal account will be Deni Moves Weight.
Yes,
correct.
Sir.
And same thing, I can relate with my brother, you know, here, that we're just out here getting it, you know. We believe we have that vision that was implanted in us, and that passion for whatever it is that we're doing, and we're out here getting, you know, brother.
100%.
You know, I get it. You know, we all train. We like hitting the gym. We want to be in shape and everything. But what made you want to compete and train people as well, you know?
Yeah.
I'm very interested in that because I actually thought about it myself, you know, training, but my physique's not there yet, so I can, you know, I could actually out there market myself.
Right.
But what made you want to get into that, brother?
So I think since a young age, I never did sports.
Okay.
I don't think I was ever specifically talented, like when it comes to basketball, football, soccer. I never saw any kind of like talent from me, right? Some people, I guess some people are born with talent.
Right.
I never saw a spark with any of those sports, although I did play them. What I was always gifted with was hard work. I'm very much an optimist when it comes to filling my plate.
Okay.
I'll fill my plate to the rim. And if it seems like impossible for me to do it, to get everything done, to finish this objective, even though I have this to work on, it doesn't matter to me. I just feel like, give me all of it. Let me have all of it. I want to execute in every area that I possibly can.
Right.
And if I fall short in this area, it's okay. Because I had this going for me. And I probably executed on this anyway, so I'll come back to this. It's cool. So I've always had a hard work ethic, big drive. And so I knew that I wanted something more, right? So when I started training, I applied the competitiveness that I had in me that I didn't get to apply in school, in the gym. And it was always me versus me, right, inside the gym. I never had a coach or anything like that, up until later on, obviously, and we can get into that. And I knew that when I started training, I think when I was about 19 or 20, a few years into it, I started powerlifting. When I started powerlifting, that's the first time that I got exposed to any kind of competitive nature inside of the gym, besides the competition that I have with myself in the mirror, right? And I'm like, you know what, I could do that. I want to compete. Okay. One of my good friends, his name's Nick. He competed men's physique. And that was the first glimpse that I got to see of what a prep looks like, what training on a competition preps looks like, what dieting looks like, right?
Right.
And I admired it. I admired it so much. And I think what I admired so much about it is when you're suffering that much, but you're still able to push through and you're still able to get it done day in and day out, and you just have that focus and you make it through to the other side no matter what the result is. You win. Ultimately, you win at life. You executed on what you had to execute on, and it's such a challenging thing for you to overcome and finish that if you do, like I said, regardless of the result, that's such a big personal win.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more, brother.
Yeah, and so when my son was on the way, right, when my girl was pregnant, there's always been this doubt that I had in me, and that's it was something that I just repeated to myself since I was a kid, when I was like in middle school, high school, and this is what I was presented like around my environment, as well as just people that start something and they don't finish it. So this tape just kept playing over and over and over and over in my head, and my son was on his way, right? I was gonna have a son, and
the name of your son, if you don't mind sharing. The name of your son, if you don't mind sharing.
My son's name is Ezra Legend Melendez.
Look at that beautiful name.
Yeah.
Ezra
Legend Melendez.
Legend. You know why? Because there's a legend here, my dear brother.
I appreciate it, bro.
We can't wait to see where he's going in life. But sorry, go ahead, brother.
No, you're good. And so my son was on his way, and I can't be fulfilled as a father if I feel like I haven't presented my son with the right tools to go ahead and thrive in life.
Absolutely.
And one of those big tools that I needed when I was younger was having the acknowledgement that no, you can start something and you can finish it.
Right.
And I since I didn't receive it from anywhere else, nobody ever told me that, I had to get it within myself, and I had to finish something that I knew was going to be very difficult. And if I finished it, then I can prove myself wrong.
Right.
I don't care what anybody else thought. I don't care if other people thought I was doing the most or I was doing too much. For me, it was a very personal competition that I had with myself, because I needed to finish this. I had my son on his way, and how can I ever look at him and tell him, you know what I mean, you can do this, you can finish this, if I never finished it, right?
You gotta lead by example, right?
Yeah, exactly, 100%. So I made a decision. 3 months after my son was born, actually, I was out of shape. I hadn't been hitting the gym. I was so focused on being inside the shop. Yeah, I was so focused on being inside the shop and just getting as much clientele that I can.
Working hard, yeah.
Yeah, because I was still in the very beginning of, I hadn't even had a year yet of me cutting hair.
Oh, really?
Of me barbering, yeah, when my son came. So
when your son came along?
Yeah.
Really?
I didn't even have a year yet of me cutting hair full time. So when my son came, I was just locked in the shop. I was staying long hours. And so I wasn't hitting the gym. My main priority was just making sure that I was stable and I was financially sufficient for me to provide for my family that was soon to get a little bit bigger, right? And so 3 months after he came, I decided, you know what? I've invested this much into this craft and into this career, and that's been great, and that's paying off. And I'm still going 100% hard into this. But I know that there's this area in my life that I need to pay attention to. That there's this area that very much plays a big role in my life, right? And that's training, and that's dieting. And so I called up a coach. We had a short conversation. The first thing he asked me is, what do you want to do?
Let me ask you real quick. This coach, how did you come across this coach?
It was a mutual friend who, he was getting coached by him, and he looked pretty decent as far as competition goes. So I'm like, you know what? Well, let me reach out to this person. He was taking on new clients, and so I'm like, this is a great opportunity for me to go ahead and get exposed to something else. Never had a coach before, but I knew that if I was going to compete, I needed one, right? So that's how I came across him. And so first thing he asked me, what do I want to do? First thing I say is, I want to compete. This is what I want to do. That's what I want to do. And so, boom, we get started. The next week, hop on a diet, get the training regimen going, and it was such an insightful experience, to be honest. But yeah, so the reason why I started competing, to answer your question, it ultimately is for me to prove myself wrong and for me to prove that I can finish something that I start. That's extremely hard.
Beautiful, brother. Beautiful. But on top of competing, you're a trainer as well, you know?
Yeah. So as far as training goes, right now there's two crafts, right, that I enjoy and that I love. There's barbering that I love absolutely with all my heart, and then there's also training that I love absolutely with all my heart. Training people is something that I enjoy just for the sake of helping other people. I love sharing information. Anything that I know, like I've told you before, I'm an open book.
Right.
You can ask me anything, and if I have information to give you, then I'll give you information. As long as it's something that has proven to be fruitful to me, I'll share it with you. So yeah, that's just something that I do every here and there to just get people some help that they need. You know, I've had people ask me questions while even in the chair on how to do certain things, and I'm never afraid to share information because ultimately I want to see people succeed and I want to see people win. You know.
Right.
Yeah. So that's how that goes too.
Beautiful, brother. I appreciate that, brother. And you know, with all this you're working, you know, tell us a little bit about, you know, your early mornings to the late nights. And it doesn't end just there. But this guy goes, it doesn't matter if he ends at 9, 10, 11 p.m. here in this shop at Get Crisp, located here in Downey, California. You know, this guy goes into the gym straight after. He takes care of his kids, puts them to sleep or whatnot. Well, I'll let you go ahead and tell it, please, brother. Sure. Tell us your schedule, brother. How's that going?
So the schedule fluctuates. The schedule fluctuates as the lifestyle fluctuates, right? So the schedule prior, because I had my daughter, right? So now I have 2 kids. My son is 2 years old. I have my daughter, she's about 10 months. And the daughter's name? Her name's Deni Melendez.
Look at these beautiful names, man. This guy's is an outstanding individual, and he's a unique individual. And you guys will know about Deni Melendez 100%, very soon.
100%.
Go ahead, brother. My bad, friend.
No, you're good. So when my daughter was born, I'm like, okay. First thing that comes to my head, besides parenting, right, is how am I gonna get to the gym, bro? You know, having this as a career where my time fluctuates, my schedule is never set to a certain time where I end. I'm always looking to accept new clients. I'm always trying to build my business, right? So that means that if my schedule ends, I block it off at 8 o'clock, 8:30 o'clock. Doesn't mean that I'm gonna finish it necessarily. I could very well be here until 9:30, 10 o'clock. So with that being said, I'm like, okay, what's the controllable variable here? The controllable variable is everybody has to sleep at a certain point, right? Whether it's my kids,
the schedule,
whether
right?
it's my girl, whether I have to sleep, everybody has to sleep at a certain point. So I'm like, okay, so the only downtime that I have is when my family is asleep. So that's when it clicked. I'm like, you know what? I gotta start going to the gym at night, bro. I gotta start going to the gym at night. So the first few months when my daughter was born, obviously you don't get no sleep. I'm
a father myself, by the way, you know, so I know this.
So the gym schedule was fluctuating. I would try to get it in where I could, right? And so then when we were starting to get my kids on a schedule to where they can sleep at a certain time, that's when I started hitting it at night. So I would get out of here around 8:30, 9:30 o'clock, get home, eat my food really quick, shower them, get them to bed. By the time I got them to bed and I was out of the door by 11:30 p.m. Get to the gym around 11:45, right, almost 12 o'clock. And yeah, just get it, bro. Just get it up until like around 1:30 a.m. That's when I would dip out of the gym, go home, shower up.
What time would you arrive at the gym? Let's say you're starting your warm up. What time would that be?
Around 11:45.
11:45.
Yeah, 11:45, and I'll dip out around 1:30 or so.
1:30. So.
And then just get home, shower up, and the body's got to eat, right? So I still get a meal in. Go to sleep. By the time I would go to sleep, maybe it's like 2:30 now. Boom, wake up around 8 o'clock, get the kids ready. Well, actually, not even get the kids ready, because now they wake up around 8, but before they weren't waking up at 8, they were still asleep. I'll get ready, get to work, and just do it all over again, brother. Now the schedule is a little bit different. Now the schedule is, since my kids go to sleep at around the same time every night now. I go to sleep around 11:30, wake up around 4 o'clock. To be at the gym around 4:30, 4:45 a.m. And train up until about 6 o'clock. Get home. It's around 6:30 by the time I get home, and then work on whatever I have to work on the business. Wait for my girl to come back. She goes to train, and so when she comes back, we switch off basically. She comes back, I get ready, I get dressed, and I dip out to work and do it all over again, you know?
Beautiful.
So that's how the schedule is right now. It's pretty hectic.
That's crazy. Hey, man. But this guy's making it work, you know. As you can tell, this guy is a man of discipline, consistent. He's hungry for it. You know, besides working and making his bread to provide and be a great father, he is a great, amazing father. He's an amazing individual. That's why I respect and love this man so much. And that's why he's even on this podcast, first of all, you know. It's crazy how you do it, brother, but you sleep, how many hours do you get of sleep, bro?
Man, I would say, on average, I'll say like a good 5 hours.
5 hours?
5 hours, yeah, I'll say a good at 5 hours. It varies, but I'll say on average 5 hours.
Okay, 5 hours. The average hours is what's recommended is getting your 8 hours of sleep.
Right.
This guy, man, like I mentioned, this is why he's on to Into the Jungle podcast, to digest this mindset that we have, you know, and to just sleep 5 hours, that says a lot about him, you know, how he's disciplined, he's hungry for it. And that leads me to my next question, asking, like, how do you keep this mindset? What keeps you going? Like, hey, I gotta stay consistent, I gotta stay hungry, I gotta get it. Instead of being like, nah, fuck, it's a little too late, I'm sleepy. You still go out and get it, bro. You still go out and get it. So please tell us, how do you keep that? How do you maintain that?
I think there's this phrase that I've heard over and over. It's you stay close to the fire. You stay close to the fire.
I like that. I've never heard of that.
Yeah, you stay close to the fire, and what that means is that when you get started on something, you're very motivated, you're ambitious, and you have that fire in you, right? But the fire goes out like that.
Right.
You could be motivated one day and not be motivated the next day. You can feel on top of the world one day and at the bottom of the pit the next day, right? So staying close to the fire, what does that mean? It's I surround myself with people that are also hungry, right? And one of those people that motivates me and inspires me is also you yourself.
Thank you. It means a lot, brother. Thank you.
Yes, you're a lot younger than I am, and you're out here doing stuff that I'm doing, right? Which is putting yourself out there, approaching people on the street, not being afraid to ask for somebody for the business, and really, you're really hungry, bro. And that inspires me. One. Right, that's step one. Staying close to the fire. Also, I'm in a group of people, right? We're all barbers. It's a group for barbers. There's a Discord for barbers. We all feed off of each other. We share information. We share wins. We share numbers, right? And I'm a little guppy, and I humble myself, especially when it comes to. What do you mean by guppy? I'm a guppy in terms of where I always have a very much a student mentality. As you should, I'm very coachable. Same here. I ingest. If you have information to give me, I absorb it as much as I can, right? And that's not to go without saying that not everything is for you, right? So some things you have to ingest and some things you have to throw away. Right. But anything that's for me that I want to know, I ingest it as much as I possibly can. So staying close close to the fire is also staying active in this Discord, right? Communicating with people, going back and forth on conversations. They're sharing a dub, well, let me share a dub. And if I don't have a dub to share, then what am I doing? How come I don't have a win this week, right? So that also is what staying close to the fire means. What else keeps me close to the fire? Lately in the mornings when I wake up, I'm trying to keep a ritual going, right? So leave the phone to the side. Let's not look at that, right? Because that puts my fire out. What's the first thing you do when you go on the phone on Instagram, right? You start comparing yourself. Comparison is the biggest killer of joy.
Absolutely.
So let me put that away, bro. Let me not ingest all that yet because my body's not ready for it. My mentality is not ready for it. So what do? In the morning? I get myself ready. I start talking to myself. Okay, you got up today. You're doing something good. This is already a dub. Let's get the snowball bigger. I go into the car. I pray. Gratification. I'm trying to practice gratification every day, nighttime and the morning. I get into the car, I put on a sermon. I start listening to the word of Jesus, right? And,
Beautiful,
and that's something that I've been implementing that's new.
Okay.
But it's been doing its thing, bro. It's been doing its thing. You start listening and you start practicing these things, and that keeps your fire burning, bro. That keeps your fire burning. Don't get me wrong, I'm not hot all the time. But what I mean by hot is I don't have that fire in me burning at the same level every time. But man, if it's going down, you gotta spark it up. You gotta spark it up. That's how do you keep going? You gotta keep things.
Like they say, put that fire underneath your ass, right?
Yeah,
get you up.
Get you going, bro. Because nobody else is gonna do it for you. Right. Somebody can tell you, like, hey, bro, like, what are you doing? You're slacking. You need to chop. Time's ticking. But hey, I don't know about you, bro. But when somebody talks to me and tells me that I'm slacking, it's like, cool, whatever. I'm slacking, I guess, and that's not to write people off, but it's like, I'm my biggest motivator. I'm also my biggest enemy. So if I'm not disciplined, if I don't keep myself close to the fire, then nobody else is gonna do it for me.
Like I say too, the work that I do, I say that I'm my biggest fan. I could care less what other people think about my work. I'm my biggest fan. I do the work for me. Same thing comes to negativity. When it comes down to people like, bro, your work's not good, or bro, you're not putting enough.
There's something that I like to tell people is whatever anybody says about you is none of your business. It's none of your business. It's absolutely none of your business. Why are you concerned?
Right.
Whatever they say about you isn't going to affect you, whether it's good or bad. So when somebody says something good about me, it's cool. I appreciate it, but it doesn't affect me any kind of way. When somebody says something bad about me, I could care less.
Right.
And when I say that is, so for example, some people when they're in my chair, like, bro, how do you do it? How do you do it? I'm like, I just do it, bro.
What do you mean by like, how do you do it?
How do you do it? They're like, how do you do it, bro? Like, I couldn't do what you do.
Well, cutting hair or
just everything in general.
Of course.
Like, when I tell them
that makes sense. Of course.
When I tell them what my routine is, they're like, how do you do it, bro? Like, I can't even stay consistent with a diet for a week. I can't even stay consistent with training for a month. And that's not me judging those people. That's what people tell me, right? And for some people, that would be a confidence booster. Like, yeah, like I could do stuff that people can't. And sure, that's cool, but that doesn't motivate me in any way because I don't compare myself to people that are average. Right. And that's not to call people average or to judge people, right? That's what it is. There's average people and then there's high executing people.
Let me say this, because the way I'd say it is, you know your worth and you know that you're putting in more than the next person,
100%.
Like I like to say, I definitely say you're one of the 1%ers, bro. The 1% mentality, bro. Because there could be people out here partying, even like my age, bro. Like instead of partying, I don't care about partying. I don't care about females, bro. That's 100%. People can say I'm talking the talk. No, bro, I don't care. What I want to do is grow in my craft and connect and network and come across great opportunities and great people to connect with. You get me? I couldn't agree with you more, bro. This mentality and everything. Carry on, brother. I appreciate you.
I think another thing is on that same topic is I compare myself to the people that are at the top of the game already, and I'm nowhere near the top. So these people can tell me, they can compliment me, they can tell me that I'm doing such a good job, or that I deserve rest, right? Because I've been working so hard, or that I should take it easy. But man, this person's killing it. If this person's killing it, why am I not killing it?
That Mamba mentality.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
The work's never done. The work's not done. The work's not done.
Exactly.
So why, like, rest for what, bro? I'm not where I need to be. So if I'm not where I need to be, that means that I need to keep going.
And that's what separates you, bro.
Yeah.
If you're around, depending on your community or the people you're around, bro, to them it's gonna be like, whoa, bro.
Yeah.
But no, you're not nowhere where you see yourself going.
For me, my work ethic is minuscule, bro.
Right.
I feel like I'm doing the least, even though like people think I'm doing the most. I like, it's the same thing, right? We're our worst critics, and so like we're gonna beat ourselves down, and we're gonna be like, nah, I'm not doing enough. When is enough, bro?
Right.
I don't know when enough is gonna be. Even when I get to the top, I'm still gonna be like, what's the next thing? Where am I going now? What I gotta do? You know,
always room for growth, right?
There's always room for growth. There's always room for improvement. It's a blessing and a curse, but I honestly love that about myself, and I love that about other people that have that same characteristic, like yourself.
Thank you, brother.
Yes, sir.
That means a lot to me, brother. I just discovered, instead of writing a story, whatever, because I can't go into it, working into a project if my mind is not right.
Right.
I'm feeling the stress, anxiety, whatever the case may be. I can't go into a project if my mind is not right. So what I do too is I remind myself, you are a leader.
Yeah.
You are strong, mentally, physically, emotionally, you are strong. You got this, Tony. That helps me out. Just a recommendation for anybody that's dealing with the same kind of issues, that you're feeling a little down, you're feeling a little self-doubt, lack of confidence, stressful day, whatever it may be. Try writing and reflect on yourself and remind yourself who you are, what you're good at, and whatnot, et cetera, et cetera.
100%. Yeah. I can actually concur with that 100%. And the reason why I can is, one, like I said, in my morning routine, I've been trying to incorporate some prayer in there. And at nighttime before I go to sleep, I incorporate some prayer now.
Right.
It's not something that I've always done. I've lacked on it, but it's something that I'm trying to get better at. And but as far as speaking out loud and speaking stuff into existence, there's something to be said when it comes to thinking something versus saying it out loud. When you say something out loud, it's this sort of chemistry that happens inside your body that endorphins just start changing a little bit. You start changing a little bit. So before, when I used to go to the gym at night, and I was so tired, bro, I'm like, man, bro, this is one of those nights, you know, and almost every night was one of those nights where I just felt so tired, bro, and I'm like, man, this isn't gonna work. This isn't sustainable. And I'm going to the gym, and I'm like, you know what, bro? I would literally start talking to myself and hyping myself up out loud. Like I'm almost yelling at myself, hyping myself up, motivating myself, and I'm saying these things out loud. Like, you know what, Deni, you're a beast, bro. You're gonna go into this gym and fucking kill it.
Motherfucking
100%. You understand? Like, I'm going in there, bro. I'm like 15 minutes out into the gym. I'm hyped up now. My energy's all the way maxed out because I told myself in the car, I'm like, well, if you're going to the gym, let's fucking get it. You're gonna go there for a reason. If you're going there just to fuck around, like, you might as well turn back. And I'm saying these things out loud, bro.
Come on, man.
The first time the first time, bro, I'm like doing this, and like I'm like people in the freeway are looking at me, bro. Like, fuck, is he arguing on the phone or what's going on, bro? I'm like, I'm having a serious conversation with myself right now, you know. But
and you're still going to
EOS?
EOS?
Yeah. Right now I go to EOS. It's
that's the 24 hours.
Yeah, it's 24 hours. So it's the only gym that works with my time, and that facility is cleaner than other gyms that are 24. So I prefer it there. If I had the chance to go to a better gym, then I would. But that's what I got right now, and it's cool. I get it done no matter what.
Shout out to EOS.
Shout out to EOS. But yeah, bro. Yeah, there's something to be said. Like you said, you say these things out loud, and you tell yourself that you know what, Tony, I got this.
Just reminders.
Yeah, just reminders. Sometimes
reminders,
sometimes saying things inside of your mind isn't enough. Sometimes you got to proclaim it. You got to establish it, and you got to say it with conviction out loud for it to actually change your spirit.
Absolutely.
And it's something I encourage people to do. Like, if you're feeling down and you don't have nobody else to talk to, and talking to yourself within your mind isn't enough, go to a room, go to your car or something, and just start proclaiming stuff out loud. Start saying things out loud, because it changes it just changes your energy. I'm sure it has something to do with some sort of chemicals that are going on in your body. I haven't done the research behind it, but you feel different.
I want to add, it's kind of along the same topic, bro, but there's this saying that you kind of, Michael B. Jordan said this in an interview, you got to be kind of a little crazy to be successful. You got to be a little delusional.
100%.
fuck what everybody says, bro. With all due respect, even your parents, bro.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck what my parents are telling me. I know these visions in here. For it's not gonna happen overnight. I know it's not gonna happen overnight. Right. This hard work and consistency that has to go into that. But bro, you have to be delusional. You have to say you're already that guy.
Yeah.
I'm not saying being arrogant or cocky.
Right.
There's a difference between confidence and arrogance. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
If you're confident, you're hardworking, you're humble, you're consistent with it in the gym, in life, career, period. It's bound to happen one day. We're gonna go through the fails after fails after fails after fails, and that's okay. We learn from it.
100%.
You're a barber and everything.
Yes, sir.
You're a trainer, and you compete as well. But let me ask you, if there were to be another career that you can choose, what would that career be?
I think the other thing that I dabbled in coming up is music.
Music, okay. Yeah, go ahead. Tell us the story.
So when I was a kid, probably like 14 is the first time I ever wrote my first song. And it was I just rapped. I just like rapping. I like writing lyrics. I like performing. And even like up until like around COVID, I did another show.
Dope.
I recorded a couple songs. Don't get me wrong. Like it's not like something that I ever took serious. Yeah.
Dope. Where'd you perform it?
When I was 16, 17, around there, I did a show up at an art gallery up in Highland Park.
Okay.
And then, like right before COVID, it was a live performance, but it wasn't in front of people because it was COVID, right? So it was more of like a live stream. We streamed it on different platforms. I recorded a couple songs, but it wasn't like something, like I said, it wasn't something that I was taking serious. It was something that I just enjoyed doing. I honestly just enjoy music in general. Right. I'm open to listen to all types of music, and I just enjoy it. So if I would have, like I say, if there's another thing that I could add to the roster that I would have taken serious prior, probably would have been music. But it would be just rapping. Only rapping, or what kind of genre? I'm way too open. I'm way too curious to just stick to one thing. I'm way too curious, way too open for me not to venture into other genres of music. But that's what I started with, was just rap. And I enjoyed it a lot. I enjoy rapping. I enjoy performing. I enjoyed recording. It was cool, bro. So if there was something else, it would probably be that. Music, huh? Yeah. Because you're creative too, right? Yeah, 100%. When I was coming up in high school, I did a lot of. I like graffiti. I love drawing. Yeah. And it wasn't a graffiti where I was like. And you're good at drawing too. Yeah. I mean, I was. I haven't drawn in a long time, so I don't know where my skills are at right now. But when I was in high school, and it wasn't graffiti like I was like tagging up people's like houses and stuff like that, or tagging up like buildings and stuff like that. Right. It was graffiti where like I had a book, and I loved like creating graffiti art, and that was my thing, right? And then I moved over to AP art in high school. From there, I took foundational art in college. I did photography in college. You get me? So I think in general, I've always been kind of a creative person. I like to create things. I like the process of creating something, and I like to see the result. Beautiful. And I think hair cutting, like being a barber, I think that's creative to me. Absolutely. You're creating designs and shit, man. That's art right there. Those blends. 100%. Not anybody could just blend up, bro. Yeah, 100%. And then even bodybuilding to me is also an art when it comes to posing, when it comes to building up certain muscle groups. Absolutely. It's also an art, So it's, I think I'm creative, and I think that any other career choice I would have chosen would have also been a creator, So that's probably what I would have dabbled into music. I haven't heard your music yet. I haven't showed you. I haven't, bro. Oh man, that's crazy. Do you have something for us? Okay, so I have this. Let me get my phone real quick. Hold on. He's got a little something for us. Stay tuned. So it's not a long video because I don't have. Oh, so it's a music video. No, it's not a music video. So what happened was, it was a long story, but this one day I went to a party. Not even a party, bro. It was more of like a get together, and the guy next door to the coworker that I had, that he was the one that was having the little like get together at his house. He was a producer. And he had worked with some people and whatnot, and this guy was cool with him, and he knew that I did music. So he's the one that threw the get together, and so he's like, oh yeah, not the producer, just your buddy. My buddy, my coworker. And he's like, my neighbor's actually a producer. We chill out all the time. We just kick it, and he creates beats like on the spot. Right. And I'm like, oh, that's dope, bro. And so we went next door, knocked on his door. He's like, what's up? And he's like, oh, what's good? He's like, this guy raps. So he's like, come on in.
Come on.
Yeah. So he makes this beat like on the spot, bro. And man, it's funny. Have you ever heard Medusa?
By J Balvin and who else?
Yeah, by J Balvin, Bad Bunny.
Okay.
Yeah. So
and J Cole.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the song that the beat that I rapped over is actually. Man, I don't want to say it's the same exact beat, but it sounds almost exactly the same exact beat, bro.
Well, how about this? You pull up that song, and I'm going to pull up Medusa real quick.
Let's do it, bro.
Let's hear yours, and then we'll hear Medusa real quick.
Let's see if I can find it, first of all.
Yeah, please, go ahead and take your time. All right, so you got that song for us now, okay?
I got it. All right, ready?
All right, play it. Oh, wow.
It's funny.
Sounds
just like it, right?
Let me get it back now. Got the tech 9 milli, don't get packed out. I'm a boss, I can walk up in your trap house. I'm a dog, knuckle up with you, go that rough. I'm the first to get it cracking, no packing, you both reflecting. I'm the man, you don't want problems, I brought it in case you acting. I'm a prophet with the scopes of my vision, don't catch you like this. You purchase to the ghost of the kid, I'm gon' get this second. I'm a motherfucking king, dog. You a peasant, get the chopper, let it ring, dog. In a second, better get the game from me, dog. You had a lesson, you ain't learned a damn thing.
There you go. That's it. That's all I got,
That's
bro.
all I got. No. That's good enough. And then look at Medusa now. I'm telling you. What the fuck?
That one has that has definitely more.
Wow.
Has more snares.
Yeah, so you can tell like if they did get it from your producer,
Right.
They just add a little something to it, but it's pretty much the original. You can.
They killed it. They did a way better job than I did. But that's So that's one of the only reason I had the full song is because I lost contact with that producer and he took it off of the SoundCloud, so I don't have the full song, unfortunately.
No.
That's what I did before.
That's what you would do if that was your second career, brother. Damn, bro, that's what's up, man. You know, you have all these clients come in, right?
Yeah.
You know, different background, different ethnicities, different from all over the place, bro. What is one thing you take from the clients, and what is one thing that the clients take from you?
I think we're reciprocated in the chair, and it goes both ways. That I take and I give is energy. And sometimes when it comes to not everybody is accepting and okay with receiving energy, right? And what I mean by that is some people want to be upset, or some people want to be happy, right? And so I got to be a little careful with how I push emotions onto people. And what I mean by that is like, for example, earlier in the day, I had a client come into the chair and
no names, of course.
No names, of course. Cool.
He's gonna recognize the film, like, hey man, what the fuck are you talking about?
It's all good. He knows I love it. A cool cat.
Okay.
Dope person to talk to. He was shy in the beginning, but I break the barrier. Like over time, I break the barrier with the client.
Especially they love the cuts, man. This guy gives magnificent cuts. Go ahead. Of course they're gonna come back.
So he's always coming in here. He's a little upset about his job. Right? He's always just upset about his job. Oh, I need to leave this job. It's not cutting it. It's not working there. I don't like this. You know, and it's cool. Like I accept it. I receive it. And what I mean by I receive it is I listen.
Right.
And I it's funny, bro. When people talk to me, I almost feel what they feel. And maybe it's because I'm just such an intentful listener, but I can put myself in their shoes and I can feel the frustration sometimes, or vice versa. I can feel the happiness, right? But this specific client, he's a little frustrated, and you know. So when I say what I take him and what is given is energy, is in a situation like that where I'm taking his energy of frustration and his energy of just like almost hopelessness. I try to give in a different manner. So even though you feel this type of way coming into the chair, well, let's change it up. So let's try to find a solution. If this isn't working for you, well, let's try to find an alternative. Let me try to suggest some different options. Let me try to suggest something that I think might be a good solution, right? And so, I think ultimately what's given or taken is just energy, right? I receive it as well as I give it. So I've always been a person that when I come into work, whether it's been here or in my prior gigs that I've done in the past, life is life and work is work. And those two things shouldn't mix, right? Because when I get home, I'm not a barber. I'm a dad, to 2 beautiful kids, and I'm also right now a boyfriend to my girlfriend, right? And those things don't coincide. I have to have a different energy when I get home. The same way I have to have a different energy when I get here, because people don't want to sit in my chair and me be rubbed the wrong way and me be upset or frustrated because of things that are going on in my personal life. It's not their fault.
Right.
They're coming in to get a service,
right?
And I still respect the service, even though I've been cutting hair for a couple years now. I still respect the craft, and I still respect how people feel.
Right.
And so because I feel some type of way doesn't mean that this individual has to feel some type of way. But if I feel great, well, let me try to rub that off on people. Let me try to make sure that people leave the chair feeling great.
Because energy can be transmitted onto the next person.
100%.
You coming in grouchy, bro. Coming in, fuck my life, bro. Fuck this bitch. Fuck this. You know? You're like, damn, what the fuck? I don't want to talk to him that much. But he coming in happy. That's what's up, bro. Great attitude, bro. That's what's up. 100%. Absolutely, but
so
I hear you.
It's and that's the relationship that you build with a barber, right? It's I have some clients, and not everybody is willing to open the doors to that, because not everybody is willing to let people in, right? But I have amazing clients that, and you're one of them, bro, where we can share such insightful conversations, and we can build on that conversation, and we almost build each other's character in the chair, you know. And it's an amazing thing, bro. That's why I love being a barber, is because there's a give and take game.
And let me say this, man. There's some times that I come in personally, and I'm like, man, I'm a little frustrated. I don't have enough clients this week, this month, etc. Right? And this guy says, he'll tell me something like, "Bro, it's okay. You know, just keep putting that work. Do some more scouting, whatever it may be, right?" And then he's always, bro. If I ever come to get my haircut and I'm feeling down, I'm always feeling like, that's right, bro. He's a true friend, genuine dude, and I love. And that's how I know a person, because I'm a client besides a friend, you know. We still got yet to hang out. Don't forget, you know.
This is actually the first time that me and Tony have had a drink together.
Hey, there's no more drink, but cheers. Cheers.
This is the first time we've had a drink together. It's hard for our schedules to coincide, but we will make that happen.
We stay busy, man. Which is a busy man is a focused man, as they say.
100%.
Absolutely, brother.
But as you were saying.
Yeah, brother. So no matter what kind of mood I'm feeling, I'm always, for the most part, coming in chill. Right. Sometimes I'll come up happier, sometimes I'll come a little down sometimes. For the majority of the time, I don't come really that down. Just once in a blue moon here and there. And this guy always lets me, besides the fresh ass cut, leaving me fucking confident as hell, you know, because I'm looking fresh and fly. Just his empowering words, his reminders, he's letting me know, because he knows me enough. You know, we have personal conversations, of course, and he lets me know, hey man, just the dude that you're a genuine dude, bro. You shouldn't keep those type of people around you, you know, you shouldn't be putting up with that shit, etc. Right? And I love this dude to death, man. Just the person he is. He's a great barber and person and man overall, like I always say. If you were an animal, since this is Into the Jungle podcast, Tony El Tigre here, host, what animal would you describe yourself, or would you relate to the most? And why exactly?
Yeah, let's do it. I would say, even though my favorite animal has always been a cheetah. Okay. I would say that I'm more of like a lion.
Lion, okay.
Yeah. Actually, you know what?
Scratch that, not a lion.
Let's scratch that, because
he's not a red.
Lion's so typical, bro.
Exactly, bro.
Let's not do that.
Exactly. It's crazy how you see everybody posting their "I'm a lion," have the lion tattoo, etc. Nah, you're not a fucking lion, bro. I know you're not a fucking lion. What are you, bro?
I'm more of like, I would say I'm more of like a gorilla, bro.
Ooh, gorilla.
Strong, right? Not because I'm jacked. I'm not jacked. But
you still got some size in you, bro. But go ahead.
I try. But gorilla, just because I feel like I really am that man for my family. Okay. And for me, my family is so important to me. And
protect it.
I strive every day to make sure that they are protected, not in a physical manner from harm, right? Even though that's essential, and I think that's always going to be a thing that goes without saying. But I'm a protector in all kinds of aspects, as well as like protecting them from hardship, right? Financial hardship, protecting them from any kind of like just. I feel like in those 4 walls, I can control everything. in terms of like I make sure that there's food on the table. You know, I make sure that the bills are paid, that the lights are on. I make sure that there's shelter, there's food, and there's protection. And so I say gorilla because I'm the leader of the pack. And that's not to say that the woman that you have beside you isn't very important, because my girl lets me and allows me to do everything that I do and lets me hustle as hard as I can.
Well, she's understanding too.
And she's understanding as well, 100% since the beginning, and that's why I love her, and that's why she's my girl, right?
Beautiful.
And the mother of my child, childs.
Right.
But when I say I'm the leader of the household, is because I have to lead. I have to be the one that's able to provide for them, and I have to be the one that's the right man for the job. And I think a gorilla is definitely the right man for the job when it comes to taking care of the clan and making sure that everybody's well taken care of.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's say that I'll be a gorilla.
Let's say that, brother. And I appreciate. I like that. I like that he's definitely a gorilla, but he's definitely those gorillas that is humble.
100%.
He's not gonna be out here smacking his chest up or anything. No, not at all. He's one of those gorillas that he's gonna be in front of his family, around his family, but he's gonna be minding his business.
100%.
He's gonna be, you know, you go to the zoo and you see the ones either fucking each other or fucking eating each other's shit or putting on a show. No, he's over here in the corner. You don't even see him unless you really pay attention. Like, oh shit, look over there. There's a family. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I definitely see that, brother. Like I mentioned once again, he is a leader. He is disciplined to the core. I admire this man. Great, phenomenal barber. Phenomenal barber. He's a true artist. You know, he does some design in my back. You guys know, if you guys know the Tigre cut, I'm gonna put it up real quick.
Yes, sir.
The Tigre cut, come on, man. You guys know what's up. But he's an amazing person overall. You know, there's still a lot for us to learn from each other and grow together. I always tell this guy, hey, man, because you guys will be knowing me in LA, Miami, Puerto Rico, Mexico, Las Vegas, New York, wherever the fuck it may be. Tigre Vista is gonna be worldwide. Whether you believe it or not, it's gonna be worldwide. And I tell this guy all the time, bro, whether you make it or I make it first, if you're busy up with the clients or your high-end clients or not, if I'm going somewhere traveling for work and I need a fresh cut every fucking 2-3 days, because my hair grows back
100%.
quick,
90%.
he's gonna be right along with me. I'm paying out his hotel, taking care of his family, so his family can join as well, because that's what I would want for you and your family, to travel, experience new places as well. And he's gonna be, I wouldn't change this barber for anybody. In case he's out, okay, you know what, I understand, fuck, I gotta find a new barber. I gotta reach out to somebody else. But I would not change this man. He knows me, great vibe, and he's a ride or die, my dear brother.
My guy, it was good doing this with you, bro.
Absolutely. Deni here. So you guys have it. You guys can check him out once again at...
you can go to my personal Instagram, which is Deni Moves Weight, or my barbering page, which is Double Bag Deni.
You guys heard it. Deni Moves Weight or Duffel Bag Deni. It was a true pleasure, my dear brother. You guys heard it here first at Into the Jungle podcast with my special guest, Deni, the barber, my barber. Check him out here at Get Crisp here in Downey, California. The one and only Get Crisp, Deni Moves Weight.
Shout out to Carlos for letting us use the shop, by the way.
Oh, thank you, Carlos. We gotta, the owner of the spot, Carlos.
Yes, sir.
The owner of the spot, Carlos, here at the Get Crisp location here in Downey, California. You guys should check this spot out. It's an amazing environment, super clean, simple, but yet so effective with the style, the decoration. So I love places like this. When it comes down to a place like this, I would describe this as a modern but elegant
100%,
look.
100%,
You know, like me personally, if I would have a home, I would want it this style.
100%.
Simple but elegant, put together, clean, great environment.
Yeah.
And it's always great to come over here because besides Deni, they have great employees here. Everybody gets down, man. Everybody gets down here at Get Crisp. So I recommend, if you guys are in town near Downey, near Bellflower, near Pico Rivera, near Norwalk, or Southgate, right? Yeah. Check out Get Crisp. You know, just a little drive, whatever it may take you. Check out Get Crisp. And if you guys are in town, hit up my boy Deni. He's gonna get you fucking right, man. All right. Once again, Tony El Tigre here with Into the Jungle podcast.